The operation, described by authorities as one of the most coordinated security offensives in recent months, signals renewed determination by the Nigerian government and security agencies to restore peace and protect innocent citizens. Across communities that have lived for years under fear and uncertainty, the sound of security patrol vehicles and aerial surveillance has replaced the silence of anxiety that once dominated rural nights. Residents who previously slept with one eye open now cautiously express hope that lasting peace may finally be within reach. Reports indicate that joint task forces made up of the Nigerian Army, Air Force, police tactical units, civil defense corps, and local intelligence networks were deployed simultaneously across multiple flashpoints known for bandit activities. According to security sources, the operation was carefully planned, following weeks of intelligence gathering and surveillance aimed at dismantling criminal hideouts deep within forests and remote settlements. Villages once abandoned due to repeated attacks are now witnessing the return of uniformed personnel, conducting search operations and reassuring citizens of their safety. For many families, this moment carries deep emotional meaning because countless lives have been disrupted by kidnappings, killings, and displacement caused by armed groups operating in rural corridors. Mothers who lost sons and fathers who buried daughters after violent attacks say they are praying that this renewed offensive will end years of sorrow. Security officials confirmed that troops advanced into forest strongholds believed to serve as operational bases for bandit commanders responsible for attacks along highways and farming communities. Air support reportedly played a crucial role as surveillance aircraft monitored movements and guided ground forces toward suspected camps. Witnesses in affected areas described hearing aircraft hovering overhead, followed by coordinated ground advances that forced criminal elements to flee deeper into surrounding terrain. Authorities say several suspects were arrested, while weapons, motorcycles, and communication devices were recovered during raids. Although official casualty figures remain under verification, security sources claim that several bandit fighters were neutralized during exchanges of fire with troops. Military spokespersons emphasized that the operation prioritizes civilian safety while targeting armed groups threatening national stability. Across northern states, governors have expressed support for the operation, noting that insecurity has severely affected agriculture, education, and economic growth. Farmers who abandon fertile lands due to fear of abduction are hopeful they may soon return to cultivate crops essential for food security. Community leaders have called on citizens to cooperate with security agencies by providing credible information rather than sheltering criminal elements out of fear or coercion. Analysts believe that intelligence sharing between local communities and security agencies is key to sustaining success beyond immediate military victories. For years, bandit groups exploited difficult terrain and limited communication networks to evade capture. But new strategies involving technology and local informants appear to be changing the dynamics of the fight. Emotional scenes were recorded in some villages where residents welcomed security personnel with prayers and words of encouragement, expressing gratitude after long periods of abandonment. Elderly residents recounted stories of nights spent hiding in bushes while attackers burned homes and looted food supplies. Children, who once associated darkness with danger, now watched soldiers patrol their streets, symbolizing renewed confidence in national protection. Security experts caution, however, that sustained operations are necessary to prevent regrouping by criminal networks. They warn that bandit groups often scatter temporarily during offensives, only to reorganize if pressure is not maintained. Government officials insist that this time, the strategy includes long-term stabilization efforts involving policing reforms, improved intelligence coordination, and community engagement programs designed to address root causes of insecurity. Religious leaders across faiths have urged Nigerians to support peace efforts while praying for the safety of security personnel risking their lives daily. Many citizens acknowledge the sacrifices made by soldiers and officers deployed far from their families under dangerous conditions. Families of security personnel describe living with constant worry, yet remain proud of loved ones serving the nation. In several affected communities, humanitarian agencies have begun assessing the needs of displaced persons, preparing for possible returns once areas are declared secure. Schools previously closed due to attacks may soon reopen if stability continues, giving children a chance to resume education interrupted by violence. Economic observers say improved security could revive rural markets and transportation routes that were once considered too dangerous for traders. Market women who lost goods during raids express cautious optimism that commerce may gradually recover. Meanwhile, security agencies continue urging citizens to avoid spreading unverified information capable of creating panic or undermining ongoing operations. Officials stress that accurate reporting and responsible communication remain essential during sensitive security missions. The federal government reaffirmed its commitment to providing necessary resources and welfare support to security forces engaged in the crackdown. Statements from defense authorities highlight increased logistics, improved equipment, and enhanced coordination among agencies as part of broader reforms aimed at strengthening national security capacity. Political observers note that public confidence in government response depends largely on visible and sustained results. Citizens across social media platforms have reacted with mixed emotions, ranging from hope to skepticism, shaped by past experiences where operations produced temporary relief without permanent solutions. However, many Nigerians say they sense a different level of seriousness in the current campaign due to its scale and coordination. Survivors of previous attacks shared emotional testimonies describing how insecurity shattered families and livelihoods, urging authorities not to abandon the mission halfway. Psychologists emphasize the need for trauma support services for victims who continue to suffer emotional scars long after physical violence ends. In conflict-affected regions, healing involves more than military success because communities must rebuild trust, relationships, and a sense of normal life. Youth leaders have called for employment opportunities and educational programs aimed at preventing recruitment into criminal groups driven by poverty and lack of direction. Security analysts argue that addressing socio-economic challenges alongside enforcement measures remains critical for lasting peace. As night falls across operational zones, patrol teams continue monitoring movement, while checkpoints have been reinforced along major access routes. Residents are advised to cooperate with lawful security checks designed to prevent escape by fleeing suspects. Authorities maintain that human rights standards remain central to the operation and warn against misconduct by any personnel involved. Civil society organizations are monitoring developments while urging transparency and accountability to maintain public trust. International partners have also expressed support for Nigeria's efforts to combat organized crime and terrorism threatening regional stability. Observers note that insecurity in one region often impacts neighboring communities through displacement and economic disruption. Therefore, sustained peace operations carry importance not only for Nigeria, but for broader West African security. Families gathered around radios and television sets continue to follow updates closely, hoping for good news that signals safer days ahead. The emotional weight of years of violence cannot be erased overnight. Yet, moments like these renew collective determination to overcome adversity as a nation. Citizens from different ethnic and religious backgrounds share a common desire for safety, unity, and opportunity for future generations. Security officials assure Nigerians that operations will continue until criminal networks are dismantled and affected communities regain confidence to live freely. The message from authorities remains clear, that the era of impunity for violent groups must come to an end. As the crackdown unfolds, the nation watches with expectation, prayer, and cautious optimism. Nigerians everywhere are reminded that peace requires cooperation between government institutions and citizens working together toward a shared goal of stability and justice. We will continue monitoring developments and bringing you verified updates as events unfold across the country. Thank you for staying with us and for believing in the possibility of a safer Nigeria where communities thrive without fear and where hope replaces uncertainty. Stay safe, remain vigilant, and continue supporting efforts that promote peace and national unity. This channel is not just about news. It is about giving Nigerians a voice and keeping our people informed every single day. If you believe in honest reporting, if you want real updates without fear or distraction, and if you want stories that matter to our nation, then please take a moment now to subscribe to this channel. Your subscription is more than just a click. It is your support for truth, awareness, and responsible journalism that helps us continue bringing important stories to you and millions of others. Every time you subscribe, like, and share our videos, you help this message reach someone who needs information that could protect, educate, or inspire them. We work tirelessly, day and night, to deliver reliable news because Nigeria deserves to stay informed and united through knowledge. Join our growing family today by subscribing and turning on the notification bell so you never miss any important update. Together, we can build a community that stands for truth, awareness, and hope for a better Nigeria. Thank you for your support, and may God bless you always.